Right now, a local detox center is closing. We'll tell you why its president is upset about how Dane County handled the matter.
And a former Fitchburg greenhouse owner is dead. The latest from police after she was attacked in the Caribbean.
And boosting rural health care, the millions in federal funding headed for Wisconsin's Department of Health Services. We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening, and thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson.
And I'm Eric Franke. A local detox center is set to close on January 1st, causing concern among law enforcement and also hospitals. Tellurian Center has lost county funding, leaving a need for fast access to detox services. For decades, Tellurian has provided a crucial resource for people with substance abuse issues, a place where police can drop someone off safely and then get back on the street in as little as 20 minutes.
Overall, this is very sad and tragic news to hear, as they've been a part of our community here in our criminal justice system, while diverting those from our criminal justice system for over 40 years. What this means for law enforcement here in Dane County is that we now lose a non-incarceration avenue for those that are going through some sort of crisis.
Now, without the detox center, officers may have to wait for long periods in emergency rooms before patients can be admitted. That's because state law requires officers stay until the person has a bed, which can take hours and limit officer availability.
The sheriff's office will be forced to cover the smaller jurisdictions that their officers are sitting in the waiting rooms. So when those officers are forced to vacate their jurisdiction and wait in these emergency rooms or these hospitals, it is now the Dane County Sheriff's Office Patrol Division that's going to have to cover those calls in that area.
The funds were cut after Tellurian told the county it was losing too much money to continue. The center says the county board then proposed funding for 3 months while new revenue sources were sought. But then things changed.
We reached out a few times saying, hey, can you call us? We weren't able to get return phone calls. So it's sad, especially where something this important to our community, it was really sad because something went haywire, and here we sit, and we even have appealed it 2 other times since they told us that this offer's off the table, saying, we'll do it. We'll take the high road. We will do this even without you answering our basic questions, because we believe so much in the clients and even keeping our staff's jobs that we will do it blindly.
Tellurian President and CEO Kevin Florek says he doesn't know why things fell apart. Now, we did just receive a statement from the county minutes ago. We have that posted on our website, channel3000.com.
We had a dusting of snow this morning, but more is coming down now.
That's right, Blaze. How much can we expect?
Probably an additional, I would say, half an inch to an inch, especially for folks out in Dodge County, Jefferson, parts of Walworth, as well as maybe up there into northeastern parts of Columbia County. I would say probably half an inch to an inch of additional snow compared to what we've already seen already. And then further south and west in this area here, this is where we're dealing with some of that freezing drizzle. So that's going to make for some slick spots on the roads. And looking at the current road conditions across southern Wisconsin, anybody in the blue, that's partially covered, whether that's with snow or ice. Regardless, you should take it carefully on the road, especially further south and west with that ice or that freezing drizzle falling. But notice into parts of Grant County, even nearly all of Lafayette County, Greene and Rock counties, the roads are pretty okay. But again, as this freezing drizzle continues to fall, just know that there could be some slick spots out there. This is what it looks like on our Upland Hills Skycam out in Dodgeville, where that freezing drizzle is falling. So a viewer reached out to me on Facebook saying that it's coming down in Monroe and it's just making it hard to walk. That's not necessarily impossible to drive. But again, just make sure that you are being careful on the roads tonight and into the morning hours on Wednesday as this freezing drizzle continues to fall. Now, the snow is going to wrap up as we head into that 9-10 o'clock time frame. We briefly dry out before more snow moves in for your New Year's Eve day. This time, though, unlike across the Northeast today, it's going to be primarily across the Southwest. So any of those slick spots overnight may get recovered by some snow as we head into the afternoon hours on Wednesday. So keep that in mind. But we will clear out as we go overnight and celebrate 2026. So we are looking at a pretty cool cool-ish night, somewhat mild in some spots, 20s and even 30s out along the Mississippi River. We'll take a look at what the latest forecast calls for ringing in 2026 and if there's any warm-up or major cool-downs in the extended forecast.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Now to a developing story. Police on the Caribbean island of Antigua are investigating the apparent murder of Fitchburg business owner Karen Johansson. Officers say Johansson was horseback riding in the island nation. It was back on December 19th when a man attacked her, striking her on the back of the head. She was taken to a medical center there before being flown to UW Hospital for further medical care. Police say Johansson died the day after Christmas. A man is now in custody. Now, you may remember Karen Johansson from News 3 Now or ran into her while she worked at her business, Johansson's Greenhouse, along with her siblings, Gary and Lynn. Our thoughts are with Karen's family and friends at this difficult time. A 16-year-old boy is arrested after Madison police say he made a bomb threat. Officers responded to an apartment complex on the city's west side yesterday afternoon. K-9 officers were on scene. Some items were removed from an apartment there. The teen and his mother spoke to police and are said to have been cooperative. He is now at the Juvenile Reception Center where he faces charges of disorderly conduct while armed and making a bomb threat.
Well, Madison police are stepping up patrols ahead of New Year's Eve. There will be more officers working citywide, not just downtown. That includes extra patrols on the east and west sides to handle late night parties and bar closing time. We spoke with a neighborhood resource officer who says with the holiday and added driving conditions, it's not worth taking a risk.
We will be enforcing OWI laws just like we do all the time. And so that's going to be a particular area of focus, making sure that if you're drinking, you're not getting behind the wheel. And particularly when you add the layer of inclement weather on top of that, it's just not worth the risk. And so if you're in doubt about how you can get home safely, figure out another plan, figure out another driver, figure out a safe way to get home, whether it be because of snow and ice or because you've been consuming alcohol.
Police are also reminding people that in Madison, anything that, quote, goes boom in the sky is illegal without a permit from the fire chief. Not to mention mixing alcohol and fireworks could bring both fire crews and officers to your door.
Nearly 110 million Americans are expected to be traveling on the roads this holiday season, and every state has a slow down, move over law. Despite that, 46 emergency responders were hit and killed on the side of the road last year. So far in 2025, at least 31 more have died. Research by AAA found 36% of drivers, nearly 4 in every 10 passing a scene, failed to slow down or move over.
People's lives are literally on the line and they're at risk.
Another issue identified in the research was weak enforcement. Drivers perceiving little risk of being ticketed, and the penalty for breaking the laws varies widely from $30 in Florida to $2,500 in Virginia.
Well, this year's flu season is getting worse with more and more people testing positive nationwide. The CDC says 7.5 million people have had the flu so far this year. More than 3,000 have died, including 8 children. The CDC recommends that everyone 6 months and older get a flu vaccine every year, but vaccination rates have been decreasing in recent years.
Wisconsin is receiving more than $203 million in federal funds to boost rural health care. That award comes from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Rural Health Transformation Program. The state's Department of Health Services applied for $1 billion through the program last month to be handed out in increments of $200 million per year.
Well, are you ready to ring in 2026 on a healthy note? Everyone's asking themselves that. A recent survey finds that one of the most common New Year's resolutions is living that healthier lifestyle. But experts say one of the best ways to get started on that journey is to build your medical team. Healthcare professionals say patients need to make sure that their primary care provider is the right one for them.
People should be empowered to fire their healthcare provider if they're not getting the kind of care and communication they need. When the clinician is in the room, are they really in the room? And I think that's just so important for people to feel that, they deserve that.
Good idea. Doctors also say mental health should not be overlooked when it comes to healthier living and recommend a balance of self-care and maintaining social connections. Coming up next at 6, home heating prices are on the rise this winter.
Well, there's also been a jump in car repair costs, what you can do to save your wallet and save yourself a headache.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
A rising number of Americans now have auto loans worth more than the value of their vehicle.
And those high costs mean that it's more important than ever to extend the life of your car. The average sticker price for a new set of wheels is above $51,000, up $10,000 from 5 years ago. And the cost of repairs has increased by 38% since 2021. That's why auto shop owners say it's as important as ever to pay attention to your dashboard warnings.
When you see any yellow lights on your dashboard, you need to schedule an appointment for maintenance. The red lights, your car needs help. It's like screaming at you when it's blinking to let you know that something urgent needs attention.
Auto shop owners recommend most vehicles should go in for preventative maintenance every 5,000 miles. And you can also save yourself some money with do-it-yourself oil check.
Millions of Americans are dealing with a rise in home heating costs this year. Experts predicting more than 9% jump from last year, costing homeowners with electric heat more than $1,200 for the season. And natural gas homeowners, like most of you across southern Wisconsin, about $700 more. There are ways to lower your energy costs, and it starts with a home audit and tackling those obvious leaks.
Maintaining your weather stripping, caulking around the inside and outside with the appropriate caulk, because there is different kinds. And then around the outlets, you could spray foam around it after turning off the power, of course. And then they do make gasketed covers with a weather seal to minimize the drafts.
Experts add that upgrading to newer appliances may cost a lot up front, but will save you money in the long term.
Still to come tonight at 6, organizers in Times Square are making sure they get this year's ball drop just right.
And winter weather will help ring in the new year. What impacts are expected around the country and also right here in southern Wisconsin. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
It's almost time. Organizers of the Times Square New Year's Eve countdown really don't want to drop the ball when the big moment comes.
A lot of practice goes into this, and today they tested the iconic crystal ball to make sure everything goes according to plan for the final moments of 2025. And this New Year's Eve, it'll look a little different with the 12,000-pound ball working overtime for an historic milestone.
The ball will descend and we will ring in 2026. Then at 4 minutes after, the ball will go up again. There'll be a flag reveal on One Times Square. We'll play America the Beautiful, and the ball will be lit in honor of the 250th anniversary of our country.
And last week, organizers tested the giant numerals as well that'll light up when the clock strikes midnight. An estimated 1 million people will pack into Times Square. That sounds like a blast on New Year's Eve to watch the ball drop.
I don't know, busy and very crowded. As millions prepare to ring in the new year, winter weather is causing some dangerous driving conditions and power outages as well. Detroit declared a cold weather emergency this week and opened 1,700 emergency drop-in warming centers. As crowds gather in Times Square for that big ball drop, they'll experience New York's coldest New Year's Eve in 8 years. Flurries may even fall with that confetti.
To the lucky ones who are going to be in the immediate vicinity, we say dress warmly so you could enjoy the moment.
Yes, very warm. And in Southern California, rain is likely to fall on the Rose Parade for the first time in 20 years. And here in southern Wisconsin, we also have snow expected on New Year's Eve. Blaze, what does it mean for all of our plans?
That means that we're likely going to be ringing in the new year on the cold side as well. So the fresh snow, not only tonight, but into tomorrow and possibly even into New Year's Day, are going to keep us on the cooler side. And actually, we'll talk about it here in just a moment. The system that moved through that bomb cyclone is actually what's causing us to stay on the cooler side over the next, I would say, couple of days, maybe not letting us warm up until the middle of next week. So tomorrow we're looking at the 20s as we've gone over a couple of times. That snow chance is now going to move across the southwest. The northeast, we could still see a little bit of snow along with some freezing drizzle like what we're seeing right now. But in terms of total snow accumulation, I would say it's probably going to be much like what we saw today. Half an inch at best. Some isolated spots could get maybe 2 inches of snow if you're hit for longer throughout the day tomorrow. What's bringing it in is that same high pressure system moving on in and that same low pressure system that brought us those breezy conditions as it moves back, what we call retrograding, into the Hudson Bay area. So this incoming high pressure system is going to take its time moving on in, could bring us a little bit of some flurries as we start off 2026, and it's going to really sit over us as we go into Friday as well. This high pressure system is going to do its job and keep us quiet as we go into those first few days of the new year. It can't move east until that strong low pressure system moves east as well, which really doesn't look to happen until maybe Monday, Tuesday of next week. So we're looking to ring in the new year at a comfortable 4 degrees, mostly clear. Keep in mind wind chill values could be as cold as 10 degrees below zero. We've got the fresh snow on the ground. We'll have northwesterly winds and those clear to mostly clear conditions. For New Year's Day, flirting with the low 20s, partly sunny. A few flurries can't be ruled out. Not as breezy, though. So those wind chill values throughout the day aren't going to be as bad, but still keep that coat around because we're only going to hang out right around 18 degrees. Here is that big low pressure system that just moved through the area. Watch as it moves back and keeps a lot of this cooler air over us. It's retrograding or moving backwards, and what it's doing is forcing down this cooler Canadian air over the next couple of days, keeping us pretty seasonal to just slightly below average. When it starts to move off towards the east, we're at Monday of next week. That's when it'll start to kick its way into the Atlantic. That's when we start to warm on up. So it's probably going to be a couple days here before we actually feel some real warmer temperatures move on into the area. And you're seeing it there on the 10-day forecast, at 35 on Monday of next week. That's when that low pressure system moves on out of here. And we stay in those upper 20s to low 30s as we go throughout next week. Again, that strong low, it's on out of here so we can finally warm back up. But in the more immediate future, 26 tomorrow, 18 for the first day of the new year. Pretty quiet Friday and Saturday. And then we'll welcome back maybe a slight rain, snow mix chance, some light snow Sunday night into Monday of next week.
It'll be improving once the first of the year hits then.
Once that big, annoying low gets out of here, it does get better.
Awesome. Thank you, Blaze.
Blaze, thank you. And of course, it's indoors this weekend for the Green and Gold, but it is rivalry week.
Yeah, it definitely is. Coming up next in sports, how the Packers are preparing for the Vikings. Next on News 3 Now.
And after all.
And now, News 3 Now Sports, brought to you by TDS Telecom.
Well, guys, with the Green Bay Packers finishing out the regular season this weekend against the Minnesota Vikings, staying fresh for the playoffs is also at the top of head coach Matt LaFleur's mind. So with so many injuries, what will this Packer team look like? We have senior Packers writer Jason Wilde to break it all down for you.
While Matt LaFleur tries to figure out how much risk versus how much reward there is in playing his starters, including Jordan Love, his starting quarterback, assuming he clears the concussion protocol, in Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings in the Twin Cities to end the regular season, the reality is there's not anything to be gained from a playoff positioning standpoint. The Packers will be the number 7 seed regardless. The only question is, will they travel to Chicago or will they travel to Philadelphia for their first-round playoff game? Regardless, one thing is sure. They have to get back to their winning ways after 3 consecutive losses. And while the defense was the side of the ball that was most embarrassed here at Lambeau Field last Saturday night against the Baltimore Ravens, running back Josh Jacobs, who may not play against the Vikings, says everyone has something to prove and everyone has something to assess.
I think that we got to be realistic. I think is when you look in the mirror, you can't really just overstep or, bury certain things. I think you got to be overly honest with yourself. Even the plays where you might have had a okay play, it's a lot of things that could have been better. And I think once we collectively, take the responsibility of our individual, actions on that field or even throughout that week, then until we do that and address that and be 100% honest with the man in the mirror, then we'll start getting the results that we want.
We'll have to wait and see what Matt LaFleur decides to do on Sunday, but I do know this. You can watch the game right here on Channel 3. It kicks off at noon from U.S. Bank Stadium. We'll have full coverage leading into the game and of the game itself from the Twin Cities on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
It's like Jason's in a little snow globe.
Yeah,
up
he is.
They won't have to worry about that. I say they just sit everybody. Get healthy.
Yeah, definitely. They should not play any starters at all.
Get healthy for the Bears, and the rest of us are going to be getting ready for New Year's with some chilly weather.
Bundled up.
That's right. Yeah, New Year's right around the corner. We got some freezing drizzle out there right now in the area. Within that orange box there, just keep in mind it's probably not going to impact a lot of driving, but it may cause some slick spots. So just keep that in mind if you do have to step out this evening. Some folks down in the Monroe area have noted that it's just making walking, especially on the sidewalks, a little difficult. There's a look at your New Year's Eve forecast. 4 degrees to end 2025. We're looking at 18 degrees with maybe a few flurries as we go into the start of the new year. More sunshine as we go into the final half of this week and into the weekend. Temperatures start to warm back up into the 30s Sunday and Monday. That's when we could see a light rain snow mix. And we'll hang out more or less where we should be for this time of year, starting Sunday through most of next week, if not even beyond that. Upper 20s to low 30s with another chance for a rain snow mix there as we head into Thursday and Friday of next week. With overnight lows, especially over the next few days, as cold as they are, hopefully the ice will thicken up for some of our anglers across the area. I know it was getting a little dicey there around Christmas, so hopefully it'll thicken up. And just remember, 4 inches is safe for you, but always just test out the ice.
Be safe out there. On our roads as well, right?
As well, yeah.
Blaze, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Coming up next is Entertainment Tonight.
And our next show, of course, is coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Be sure to join us. You can always find us streaming as well 24/7 on Channel 3000+.